Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem, breaking down for you last night's 8-game NBA slate. It was a very nice slate of games we saw last night, very low-scoring cash line, and you see how finicky the NBA DFS can be. Where last night, man, if you didn't have upwards of 300, you were not touching the cash line. Well, the cash line was particularly low tonight. We had quite a few low-scoring games. Not a lot of guys really went off. So if you were smart and you stuck to the core plays that you had, you definitely had a shot at hitting that cash line. It was kind of low, so that was a pretty decent thing. We're gonna jump into our regular formatting of the show, but before we do that, man, the show starts kind of late when guys in the sweatshop have a good night because the first thing I do, man, before I jump in and jump into tomorrow's slate, I go in, man. I go into the VIP. I go into the Twitters, and I go in there and I congratulate all my guys, man, on having a great night, man. And it's always good to see that logo, man, to see that logo in the top spots on the leaderboard, man. And we did see that tonight. The homie Brian Eli 29 went in and took second place in I believe it was a late tournament, it was a 50K tournament. Had a really nice showing. Put a stack in his pocket off of a $9 buy-in. So that was a very good showing from him. We also had just a really nice amount of guys in the DFS sweatshop cash. If they weren't doubling their buy-ins, if they weren't tripling their buy-ins, they were kind of like I did. Because tonight, I doubled my buy-in. I kind of went with my core four in a lot of spots, and we're going to talk about those guys. And I was really in line for a good night if one of them didn't snowflake the fuck out on me. But that happens. Altogether, it was a really good showing, and we're going to go ahead and talk about that. And for the homie Brian Eli 29, I've taken the liberty of having a strong drink for you. My beautiful wife is in the bedroom sleeping. She doesn't know that I am partaking of the Hennessy. This is the pipe hardener. So after the show, she's going to get a really nice treat from her DFS Jerusalem. Now we got them 5 kids. So let's go ahead and jump into the Core 4 review, man. Like I said, every day, hopefully between 2 and 3 o'clock, if I'm not very busy at the barbershop, I'm able to send out through email to the subscribers or through messages to the guys in the DFS Sweatshop Facebook VIP. I send out my core 4 plays. Now, what I'm trying to do with this is 2 things. Number 1, man, I want you to know I am a sincere, solid, stand-up, straight-up dude. Like, you can message me. We can talk anytime. I'm always available for anybody, no matter what y'all may need, as long as it relates to DFS or something to deal with you personally. Whatever it is, you can hit me up. The only things I don't talk about is religion and politics. The only things I don't talk about. Anything else, we can chop it up about. So I send this core 4 out, and the basis of it is I'm trying to spend around 25K in salary, 25K or less, on 4 guys that I feel if you put a gun to my head and ask me who gonna make 6x value, give me 4 plays. That's the type of pressure that I put myself under when I come up with these core 4 plays. And last night's core was not. It was an abysmal core 4. It wasn't very good at all. It hit about 5.4x or something like that. Not very good. And our target is 6 times value. So that means if I spend 25K on guys, I need them to bring me back 6 times that. I need 150 points. Because what I'm trying to do is, if you're a newer guy just coming over from NFL, or if you if you're a seasoned DFS player, I'm just trying to help you out to get you halfway to the 300 club. Because on a night like tonight, 300 was good. 300 was good. So if I have a core 4 tonight that gets me, close as possible to 6x, and you rolled with them, then you had a pretty good night. Like I did. I doubled my buy-in. Perfect. I'm a tournament player. I don't play any cash games, no head-to-heads, just straight up tournaments. I might enter single entries here and there, but straight tournament player. If I can get 300, I'm good. So let's go ahead and jump into. Oh, wait a minute. Before we get started, right? Now we had Monday's core 4 was fucking popping. Motherfuckers was dancing in the streets. Tuesdays was kind of good. It was good. Last night's was not very good at all. Tonight's was decent. So, the guys in the sweatshop, man, I'm telling you, this is the very best. These are the brightest minds right now in the game when it comes to NBA DFS. I don't give a fuck who you are. The only thing that separates these guys in the DFS sweatshop, especially in the Facebook VIP, the only thing that separates these guys from the leaderboard on fucking on like the major sites where they have like the best players in the world and shit. The only thing that separates these guys from them is the fact that they don't invest. We just regular people. We have jobs. We can't lock in 150 lineups. But when it comes to their thinking, man, there's not a play on the board that was good that was not discussed in the DFS sweatshop. I promise you. I promise you. There wasn't one play that was good tonight that was not discussed in the DFS Sweatshop VIP. And that's why it's so important for you to come and be a part of the community. That's why it's so important, because we're still a small group. We're still a small group, but we're making a big impact in the world of daily fantasy sports. I can guarantee you the major sites are sitting around having a meeting about what they're going to do about DFS Jerusalem and his band of thieves. We are like Robin Hood, stealing from the rich, giving it back to the poor little man. That's what we do in the sweatshop. Let's go ahead and jump into the Core 4 review. We're going to start with a play that I really like. This guy, I thought was going to be a lot more higher owned. It turns out a lot of you were sharper than I was, because this was probably this was without a doubt the worst play in last night's Core 4. We're talking about Drew Holiday. He was in a really nice matchup, a very solid matchup, and I thought that he would be able to take advantage of going up against one of the worst defenses against the point guard position, especially on the perimeter in general. And he went out at 7.2K in salary, 17.5% owned. So he was in position, so to speak, to separate us in certain spots. And he brought us back 28.75 DraftKings points. Completely unacceptable for Drew Holiday. The next play was quiet as kept. This was actually my favorite play in the Core 4. I really like this guy. I thought he was going to go out and just fucking smash, because we knew we were in that high pace, up tempo game. We knew that there was a chance later in the day that we were going to see Patrick Beverley really harass Russell Westbrook, and I wasn't a fan of rostering him in a lot of different spots, so I didn't have very much Westbrook. I did have some, but I thought this guy was going to be the beneficiary of just that high pace, up tempo matchup, primetime game. He was going to get a piece of the Westbrook versus Harden, that whole thing. And Vic Oladipo, man, at 6K flat, he was 18% owned, and he brought back 32.25 DraftKings points. Now, 36 was the target value for us. That's where we wanted him at. But 32.25, I'm not going to fuss with that. That is well above 5x. So Vic Oladipo had a pretty decent showing tonight in the Core 4. The next play was a play that I also really liked, and I kind of rostered him because I just wanted that late night hammer exposure. I wanted to roster the safest guy on the slate, the guy that I knew no matter if he got 6x or he got 5x, I just knew he was not going to be a snowflake. After what I went through last night, I just wanted to roster a late night hammer that I knew was not going to snowflake on me, and that was Mason Plumlee at 5.9K. Very good price on him. He was 16% owned, went out and scored 34.25 DraftKings points. They took a block from him. He should have 36.25, and he fouled out with 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So we could have really seen a great game from Mason Plumlee. And the last play was a guy that I knew everybody was going to be on. He was actually in a awesome matchup, and we know we can always target the Brooklyn Nets when it comes to the perimeter, when it comes to the low block. I mean, we can just target these guys, and that's Jeff Teague, man. 7.4K, 20% ownership. So a lot of people were on him. There's a lot of pressure on this guy. He went out and brought us back 57.25 DraftKings points. An excellent game we saw from Jeff Teague. Now the complete salary was 26.5K, and that should have brought us back at 5x value, 132.5 DraftKings points. We want 6x value. We wanted 159 DraftKings points in order for this core to take us exactly where we wanted to go. But what we ended up getting was 152.5 DraftKings points. We were minus 6.5 from our desired goal, from the promised land. But 5.8x ain't nothing to shake a stick at, especially on a night where 260 would have brought you to the cash line. So if you use this core 4, I know a lot of you did. It definitely did what it was supposed to do. I had this core 4 in a lot of spots, man. And I had a good night, double my buy-in. That's always a good thing. Now, the next thing I'm going to get into is going to be our feature for players of the night. These are the most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS sweatshop, in the Facebook VIP, on Twitter, in our new chat, which is really jumping. Yo, the chat on the website is fucking jumping. Shout out to everybody who's contributing there, man. That's an awesome thing to see that grow from nothing into what it is today. We're going to start with the Who Dat scoring all them points over there, player of the night. Now, if you've been around DFS for a couple of years, you know Boban Marjanovic, right? This dude, a few times during the season, he just goes nuts. He just goes blind, and just in like 6 minutes, he gets 10 boards and 15 points, and that's just what he does. So Boban, less than 1% owned, 3K in salary, straight minimum, goes out and got you 40.75 DraftKings points. Awesome game we saw from Boban. We saw a little foul trouble from Andre Drummond, which enabled him to go out and get those minutes and really make them work. So that's why he is the Who Dat scoring all them points over there, player of the night. The next guy I'm going to get into is going to be the How Did I Miss That Player tonight? This is a guy who I should have taken a closer look at. I actually looked to the bench, the guy that's coming off the bench. I looked at Tobias Harris a lot. But Marcus Morris, man, how did I miss that? Well, I can tell you how. Because he wasn't in a good spot. He just wasn't in a good spot. The DVP was against him. But these are NBA players, man. These guys are world-class talents. Him and his brother, their head cases, I kind of don't like to fuck with them so much. So that's how I missed that. And this is Marcus Morris at 8% owned, 4.2K in salary. He went 10x and got 42 DraftKings points. If you had him in your lineup on a night like tonight, I know you made smarter decisions other places. Because if you were sharp enough to roster Marcus Morris, you were definitely sharp enough to get your Teagues in there and some other guys who really took you over the cash line. So that's why Marcus Morris is tonight's How Did I Miss That Play of the night. The next guy I'm going to talk about is going to be the heat check player tonight. Now, this doesn't always go to the guy that scores the most points, the guy that has the highest salary. Sometimes, or most times, every night actually, it goes to the dude that just fucking balls, man. Just balls the fuck out. And tonight, that was you, Myles Turner. You young baller. You're the heat check player tonight. Went out at 14% ownership. Not a lot of people who were on him. 6.8K. Kind of a high price, I felt, at the time on him. He went out and got 58.25 DraftKings points. Finished second among all DraftKings scores on the night. Excellent game we saw from Myles Turner. And if you stack that game, you even got away with rostering Paul George, who kind of underwhelmed. If you got Teague and Turner and Paul George, you still did your damn thing. You still did the thing. Awesome game we saw from the Heat Check Player tonight. Myles Turner, salute to you again. You are the Heat Check Player tonight. Thank you for your service. Now, we've come to a point in the show where we have to discuss that one motherfucker. This is a motherfucker who fucked up 10% of your lineups. He was sparingly owned, but being the star on his team, we really expected more from you tonight. With your snowflake ass. At 10% owned, 7.8K when small forward is a virtual wasteland. And either we were paying up, or we were paying up to you, or we were paying down to any old motherfucker just trying to get some points at the small forward position. You went out and you shit yourself. And that's why you, Gordon Hayward, you a motherfucking snowflake with your snowflake ass. Get up off of that soft shit, ball, and stop that pussy shit, man. Your snowflake ass. How you gonna go out at 10% ownership? We was in position with that. That could have separated us. 7.8K. Rob us. And bring back 23 DraftKings points. Man, you a motherfucking snowflake, man. Let's go and get on with the rest of the motherfucking show. Snowflake ass motherfucker. Now, we've arrived at a point in the show where I go out and I show you my very best core 4 lineup. I had some discussion in the comments. It was like, yo, man, you always show your best lineup, but why don't you show your best core 4 lineup? That way we can see exactly how it went down. And I respect that. I get that. You're checking on me. You're showing you're not a slow leak. I get it. Let's go ahead and jump into my best core 4 lineup. Now I did have a couple of lineups that approached the 300 club, did not hit the 300 club. I think the highest I had was about 292, something like that. You can take a look at that lineup as well. But this is my very best core 4 lineup. This is one that I really liked. And as you can see, I had it entered in a few different spots. When I get a lineup that I like, I don't run a bunch of lineups. Most of the time, it's a maximum of 10 if I'm really feeling the slate. It's a maximum of 10 lineups. But what I do is I will turn the brightness down on this just a little bit. What I do is I will enter it in a few contests if I really think it's something that can yield me some dividends. So turn the brightness down a little bit. My daughter's probably playing with the TV with their remote control and shit. Now, take another sip of the pipe hardener. You're gonna get it. Let's go ahead and jump into this core 4 lineup here. Now, of course, you see King Snowflake here, Drew Holiday, bringing back the 28.75, bringing back short money. That's not going to get it. Of course, you know I like Vic Oladipo. He was a part of the core 4 at 32.25. We had Mason Plumlee at the center position, getting at 34.25. And, of course, Jeff Teague is right here, getting at 57.25 DraftKings points. I'm sorry about that glare right there. Bam. So now you see Jeff Teague right there, getting the 57.25 DraftKings points. Now, with this lineup, I liked Anthony Davis. We talked about it on last night's show, how I didn't think I was going to be paying up for Harden or Westbrook. I felt like Anthony Davis was going to give me the best chance to return that 6x on a big salary. And, he didn't get 6x, but he got 5. 52.25 DraftKings points was good for me, and I was still able to roster a couple other guys that I liked. I liked Al-Farouq Aminu, of course, as a late-night hammer in that game. I liked D'Angelo Russell as well as a late-night hammer. Both of those guys performed fairly well, and when it got down to it, I was at I think I used every bit of salary with this lineup, and I was kind of boxed into Brandon Ingram. I knew that there was some news should be coming out about Luol Deng and his availability to play. When I saw that, I rostered Brandon Ingram. I was like, I just hope that Luol Deng doesn't play. Lo and behold, he doesn't. Brandon Ingram at 3.1K goes out and brings back 19.5 DraftKings points. This lineup netted me a total of 290 DraftKings points. This was my best core 4 lineup. Pretty good showing there from tonight's core 4. So let's go ahead and jump into a quick recap of last night's games. You know the reason why we do this. I say it every show. Maybe you're not like me. You can't get a chance to watch every NBA game for one reason or another. Maybe it's because you don't have the time. Maybe you're like me. You got a wife. You got kids. You got a side chick. You got a side dude. Because some of the ladies watch the show. Shout out to the ladies that watch the show. And you just can't watch all the games. Well, that's what I'm here for, because I watch every. Let me get close. I watch every NBA game, whether it is four games at a time on the split screen through NBA League Pass, or maybe the condensed games. I try to watch every NBA game, because nothing will teach you more than the actual eye test, seeing guys play. We had guys in the sweatshop talking about, man, Buddy Hield, man, he's the play. Buddy Hield is the play. So the guys asking him, well, why are we playing Buddy Hield? Man, I've been watching him, man. I think he's due. He's getting the offense. He's grasping things. I've been watching him play well. And what happened? He balled. And I had him in a couple lineups based off of what I heard in the DFS sweatshop VIP. So shout out to y'all again, man. Y'all the best in the game, bro. So let's go ahead and jump to the quick recap. We're going to start with the first game on the slate. This is the Indiana Pacers against the Brooklyn Nets. The Pacers were home. We're going to start on the Brooklyn Nets side, where Bojan Bogdanovic was a major disappointment. Dude played 12 minutes and had 3 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. Horrible game we saw from him. Trevor Booker gave us blue balls, because a lot of people I know, we were going into the narrative of Thad Young, the Brooklyn Nets, Thad Young. But I think those revenge narratives are more in play when the guy goes to where he used to play. I think that makes it a little more, special and relatable when the guy goes to a place where he used to play. Like when LeBron will go to Miami, he's going to get up a little bit more for that. as opposed to when, Miami comes to Cleveland. It's not the same, right? So Trevor Booker, man, he started off really hot, but he only played 19 minutes, and he gave me blue balls. 16 points to go with 6 boards. Not a great game from him at that price point. Brook Lopez underwhelmed in his 25 minutes, had 12 and 6 to go with 3 assists. The only decent games we really saw from anybody on this team was going to be Sean Kilpatrick, man. He had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal to go with the block. And we also saw a nice game from Spencer Dinwiddie. In 32 minutes, he had 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists to go with a steal. A lot of people were on Karis LeVert, and I wasn't one of them. He played 21 minutes and had 6 points, 2 boards, 1 assist, and 1 steal. He's a young rookie who I think is going to blossom into a really good NBA player, just not anytime soon. We might want to check back with him after the All-Star break. On the Indiana side, we already talked about this dude, man. He had an awesome game out. Jeff Teague, 21 points, 7 boards, 15 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Now, he shot 9 for 13 from the field. That is a 69% clip. That's awesome. But he's not going to be able to do that every game. We caught him on a really good night in our core 4. The next guy we're going to talk about is going to be Myles Turner, man. The heat check player tonight. 15 boards, 25 points, 5 blocks. That's what did it. 5 blocks is fucking huge. And also, he had a steal and shot 60% from the field in 32 minutes. Great game we saw from Myles Turner. Paul George was on his way in the first half, but he really didn't have to do as much. This game did kind of blow out. In 30 minutes, he had 26 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Fairly decent game, but just not that 6-6 value that we were looking for. CJ Miles was a player that I kind of liked, and I had him in more spots than I should have. I thought the game would blow out and we would see CJ Miles kind of mop everything up. But he only played 17 minutes and had 8 points and 2 rebounds. Not a great game there. I don't know. I don't think anybody in the shop fell for the old Monte Ellis. That dude is fucking done. Monte Ellis, if he was ever alive to me, then I would say he's dead to me. But he's not been alive to me since last season. So I'm not gonna kill a guy twice. I'm not gonna do that. But whatever. So the next game we're gonna talk about is the Toronto Raptors at home at the Air Canada Center against the Utah Jazz. We knew this game was going to be relatively low scoring, so it kind of kept a lot of us from rostering guys in this game. But man, excellent game we saw from Kyle Lowry. Now, he started off very slow in the game, but he ended up leading the team in minutes. And this is, again, one of those guys who's the last starter to come off of the floor. He has the very best opportunity to make an immediate, instant impact in the first quarter, and he stays on the floor forever. This dude had 41 minutes, 33 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. He shot 58% from the field, went 10 for 17. Nice game we saw from Kyle Lowry. DeMar DeRozan, in his 36 minutes, had 23 points to go with 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Pretty decent game from him. We also saw a fairly nice game from Jonas Valanciunas. This is going to be against Rudy Gobert. So he came to play. He had a decent game. 13 rebounds to go with 18 points. No blocks or steals or anything, but he did shoot 63% from the field, and that was a nice game for Jonas at that price point. Didn't see much else from the Toronto Raptors. 12 points from Terrence Ross to go with an assist and 2 blocks. But outside of that, not a great game from anybody on the Toronto side, but they did win the game. On the Utah side, the Blue Balls player tonight definitely is Rodney Hood. This dude was 1% owned, and he had like 11 points in the first quarter. I talked about him on last night's show, and I kind of liked him, so I had him in a couple spots. He did nothing else. I mean, Rodney Hood just stank up the joint, and he did play 35 minutes, so he got a ton of run. And he had 7 points to go with 2 rebounds and 3 assists. Not a good game at all from him. Shelvin Mack in his 30 minutes chipped in 17 and 4 to go with 2 assists and a steal. Derek Favors had 9 and 8 with 1 assist and 1 steal. I did not fall for that. And Gordon Hayward, the snowflake of the night, had 16 and 4 to go with 2 assists. It was a bad game kind of all around. The only bright spot was Rudy Gobert. And this is a prime example of the DFS Jerusalem being early to the party. Because he was a core 4 play the last time the Utah Jazz played against the Boston Celtics. And I was feeling him. I was on him. And I did have him tonight in a couple spots, just not where I should have had him. He had a nice game, 16 boards with 15 points and 3 blocks. Pretty decent game from him. But the funny thing about Rudy Gobert is the dude shot 30% from the field. So if he has like his regular 57% field goal percentage, he has a much better game. Next game we're going to get into is going to be the Detroit Pistons at home against the Charlotte Hornets. This is a very entertaining game, and we saw a couple of injuries in this game that we're going to highlight as we talk about the point totals for today's 8-game slate. But we saw a nice game from MKG, man. This dude was one bucket away from a double-double. He had 8 points and 13 boards. A pretty decent game from him. We also saw a nice game from Marvin Williams, 19 and 7, to go with 2 assists and 1 block in his 29 minutes. And Kemba, boy, they was talking shit about Kemba, boy. Y'all gotta stop doing that shit, man. You gotta let the game play out. I know your money's on the line. I know how I feel. I know how I feel. But if a dude gets off to a slow start, don't start talking shit till around 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Y'all was talking shit in the first quarter about Kemba, man. He went out and showed y'all ass. In 35 minutes, he had 32 points, 7 boards, and 5 assists with 12 for 24, shot 50% from the field. And we didn't see Nick Batum later in the game. He did get hurt. And I think that's when Kemba really picked up the pace. Nick Batum did play 25 minutes. He had 9 points, 4 boards, and 5 assists. We need to check on him for his injury status. Spencer Hawes was a really nice play in this game. Off of the bench, he had 18 points to go with 4 rebounds and 3 assists and a block. Pretty decent game there from Spencer Hawes. On the Detroit side of the ball, this is where the how did I miss that play of the night came from. We're talking Markieff Morris. 36 minutes he played. He had 10 boards, 20 points, 3 assists, 1 block, shot 33% from the field, 5 of 15. So we could have had a monster game, much more monster game, if he shot his normal 46% from the field. John Lure, in his 21 minutes, had 8 and 6 to go with an assist. Not a great game there. Andre Drummond snowflaked the fuck out, man. He got 2 early fouls and ended up sitting on the bench and had 16 points to go with 9 rebounds and 1 block in his 25 minutes. Boban Marjanovic, excellent game from him. Grabbed 19 boards, 15 points, played 22 minutes, had a block. Good game we saw from Boban Marjanovic. Reggie Jackson had a decent game out, double-double with 11 assists to go with 22 points. We need to get on him before the price goes up. Hopefully the next time out the price won't be, higher than 6.5. But as long as he's around that range, I think we can definitely roster him with the confidence it takes to roll him out in multiple lineups. He also had a couple rebounds to go with those 22 points and 11 assists. Shot 7 for 15 from the field, 46%. Really nice game we saw in 29 minutes from Reggie Jackson. KCP was also another victim of injury. He did leave the game, but he did play 32 minutes. I think he left the game because he was mad because he was stinking up the joint. I don't think he's hurt. Because that motherfucker played 32 minutes. Only had 7 points to go with 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. That ain't shit, KCP. Get your shit together. Next game we're going to talk about is going to be the New Orleans Pelicans at home against the Atlanta Hawks. This was a really good game until the end. The Pelicans sure know how to fuck up a good game because they were leading. They were down a second, then came back, were playing really well. Then in the fourth quarter, late, around 4 minutes in the fourth quarter, they just break the fuck down and start throwing the ball out of bounds, careless turnovers. It's a horrible game, finishing the game in New Orleans, and it kind of really overshadowed some really nice performances. We're going to start, of course, on the New Orleans Pelicans side, but we saw Anthony Davis get off to a slow start, but in 36 minutes, he had 20 points and 19 rebounds to go with 3 assists and 2 steals. He shot 7 for 20, 35% from the field. If he shoots his normal 55%, man, this is an awesome play. Awesome play. Easily makes success value. Terrence Jones, in his 29 minutes, had 12 and 11 to go with 1 assist, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Pretty nice game from him. We talked about Drew Holiday fucking up the core 4 with his 18 points and 1 rebound, 5 assists, 1 steal in his 35 minutes. So he actually led, second on the team in minutes, second on the team in scoring. He should have had a much better game. He shot 38% from the field, going 5 for 13. Not a great game at all. But the motherfucker did hit 4 threes. He hit 4 of 6 from 3. Man, go to the basket, man. Little snowflake ass. Buddy Hield, man, he was kind of the story of this game. Very good play. I believe he was at 3.6K, so he was easily affordable. He played 30 minutes, had 15 points and 7 rebounds to go with 4 assists and 1 steal. And I think as the time goes by, he's going to solidify himself as, okay, I'm the next guy up. I'm the next guy up. Stop fucking with Etwan Moore. Stop fucking with Solomon Hill. Tyreek Evans is going to stay hurt. I'm the next guy up. Give me the ball. And I hope that does happen because he's a really special player, I believe. The Atlanta Hawks side of the ball, we saw a nice game from Paul Millsap, man. 17 and 10 to go with 4 assists and 2 steals. Also had a block in his 33 minutes. Shot 6 for 19. A bad percentage from the field. Could have had a better game there. Dwight Howard in his 29 minutes snowflaked out with 12 boards and 12 points and 11 boards to go with an assist. We saw a nice game from Dennis Schroeder, 23 and 7 to go with 4 assists and 1 steal. And our homie Tim Hardaway Jr. off of the bench chipped in 14 and 6 to go with a steal in his 25 minutes. Pretty decent game there. Now, we were looking to see Kyle Korver in this game, especially with the hot shooting he's been doing. But lo and behold, it comes out that he's been fucking traded to the Cavs. Strong drink. So, not much else we saw from the Atlanta Hawks side. The next game we're going to get into was probably like the marquee game on the evening. It is the Houston Rockets at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. There was a lot of hoopla surrounding the game because we know, of course, James Harden used to play with Oklahoma City, and I think that that last call at the end of the game where they fouled Nene or whatever, that's bullshit, man. Everybody want to see overtime. Everybody want to see overtime. Why would you call that foul with 0.7 seconds left? I could see if it was like somebody good, but it's Nene. Like, fuck that. Let him play some overtime. You know what I mean? Fuck it. So we're gonna start on the Oklahoma City side, where Anthony Robinson was an excellent play. 35 minutes, he had 14 points and 9 boards. Was 1 board shy. That double bonus, had 2 blocks. Shot 6 from 11 from the field. That's 54%. Really nice game there. And we saw Domantas Sabonis get involved in every area on the stats. He had 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Shot 60% in his 22 minutes. Steven Adams, man, he didn't do one thing particularly well. He just did everything nicely. 29 minutes, he had 8 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Really good game there from him. Vic Oladipo, we talked about him already. He had 17 and 7 to go with 2 assists and 1 steal, and he actually did lead the team in minutes, which is something to look forward to. This is something. He's one of my favorite players. If he's under 6K, I'm rostering him every time. I don't give a fuck. If he's around 6K, I'm taking him. He was just 5.5 and went up to 6. I'm taking this guy. Russell Westbrook, man, in 37 minutes, got off to a very slow start, but he ended up balling the fuck out. 49 points for him, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. He shot 16 for 34 from the field. That is a ton of shots, but he did shoot 47%, and that was not enough to win the game, but it was enough to keep him in the game and keep the game close. Enes Kanter, in his 22 minutes off the bench, had 15 and 13 with 1 assist and 1 block. He is a point-per-minute monster, bro. He is really, really nice when it comes to point-per-minute stats. The Houston Rockets, horrible game we saw from Trevor Ariza. He was a snowflake. 10 and 3 to go with 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. He shot 4 for 14 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3. That is unacceptable, Trevor Ariza. We need you knocking them bitches down. Ryan Anderson, in his 31 minutes, had 12 and 4 to go with 1 assist, and he was 5 from 11 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. That's why the game went the way it was, because they could not hit threes. They just couldn't. It was bad. Nene, in 16 minutes, had 18 and 3 to go with 1 assist, 1 steal, and the cock block of the year when he knocked down those 2 free throws to stop the game from going into overtime. Pat Bev, we didn't think he was going to play. Oh, Pat Bev is questionable. He's very questionable. He's probable. Oh, he's back questionable. Oh, he's playing. Fucked up everything. Pat Beverly went out and in 30 minutes had 11 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Pretty decent game there. James Harden doubled in his 38 minutes, had 26 and 12 to go with 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. He was definitely on triple-double watch, but he only shot 6 for 16, 37% from the field. That is not James Harden. 2 of 7 from 3. That is not James Harden. Not a good game we saw there. Montrezl Harrell had a decent game, 8 and 8 to go with 3 assists and 4 for 7 from the field. Eric Gordon was kind of the story of this game because he had a really nice one off of the bench. In 28 minutes, he had 22 points, 5 boards, 3 assists to go with 8 for 20 shooting. So he was jacking them up. I mean, as a team, like they shot 41 for 86, 47%. And that was because the bigs weren't missing as much as the guys on the perimeter. Not a very great game we saw on the Houston shooting side of the ball, but they did get the W, and I guess that's what matters for them. On the Dallas Mavericks, the next game we talk about, the Phoenix Suns came to town, and this is a really nice game we saw from Dirk Nowitzki, man. As long as this dude is like, I mean, it's not many times you can get a Hall of Fame shooter that can still kind of shoot and play a little bit at that 4.4 price point. And I saw him and I liked him, so I rostered him in a few spots. But we're gonna start on the Phoenix side with TJ Warren, man. This dude is almost a corpse to me, man. 23 minutes we had to watch him go out and fuck up, and he had 9 points and 5 rebounds, shot 4 from 11 from the field. That's 36%. Not a good game at all. Marcus Chris in 18 minutes had 2 points and 8 boards to go with 1 assist. Not good for him. Tyson Chandler continues to gobble up rebounds and not score points. In 28 minutes, he had 3 points and 18 boards with 3 assists. Not a great game, but 18 boards is like, okay, I'll take that. Devin Booker, he got really hot and did nothing else. He had 22 points to go with 2 rebounds and 1 block. And Eric Bledsoe had 26 and 7 assists, no rebounds to go with 1 steal in his 30 minutes. Shot 9 for 16 from the field. It was pretty decent there. PJ Tucker off of the bench had 4 and 9 to go with 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. And Brandon Knight dropped in 17 points to go with 2 assists, 2 blocks. 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal in his 26 minutes. Alex Lynn chipped in 14 and 7. So it was a pretty decent team effort that allowed them to beat the Dallas Mavericks. On the Mavericks side, really nice game we saw from Dirk Nowitzki. We talked about him just a few minutes ago. He's up to around 28 minutes. He played 27.48 minutes this game. Had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block. He shot 5 for 14 from the field, so it could have been a really nice game for him. That's 35%, not good at all. We saw a nice game from Darren Williams. He had 20 points and 4 boards to go with 6 assists in his 33 minutes. We also saw a little Brad jump in and chip in 16 points to go with 1 rebound. Not a great game there. Didn't see much else from the Dallas side. I mean, Harrison Barnes, 19 and 6 to go with 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. He shot 61% from the field, but it just wasn't a great game for him. The volume of shots just weren't there for him. The next game I'm going to talk about is the Denver Nuggets at home against the San Antonio Spurs. This was a blowout, and I figured it wouldn't last. Like the stars on the San Antonio side would not end up playing the entire game, but we still saw decent minutes from these guys, man. We still saw better than 30 minutes from these guys. Kawhi Leonard, he underwhelmed at the price point, but he played 36 minutes. Now, if you're telling me before this game starts, hey, you're going to get 36 minutes of Kawhi Leonard against the Denver Nuggets, I'm taking that all day. But in those minutes, man, he just didn't do a lot. 24 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. He did have a block. He shot 9 for 19 from the floor. It's 47%. 3 for 6 from 3-point. So he played well, but just not 8.5K well. LaMarcus Aldridge in his 32 minutes had 28 and 4 as he led the team in scoring to go with an assist, a steal, and a block. Shot 11 for 18 from the field. That's 61%. That's very good there. Paul Gasol had 17 and 9 with 4 assists and 3 blocks in his 34 minutes. And Danny Green has 6 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block in his 25 minutes. We saw a nice game from Tony Parker, man. He almost doubled on him. 21 points to go with 9 assists, 3 rebounds. Pretty good game there. And he shot 10 of 11 from the field. 90.9%. Great game we saw from Tony Parker. Not much else we saw for the bench. We saw Manu Ginobili for about 18 minutes. He had 11 points and 3 boards to go with 3 assists, a steal, and a block. Not too much to speak of there. On the Denver side, man, just roster Jokic. Just play Jokic, bro. Just play Jokic. 27 minutes, he had 19 points and 11 boards with 5 assists and 1 steal. And that's where he does it, in his distributing the ball. You know, being a passer, a nice passer as a big man is really where he makes you pay. That was a good game we saw from him. Darrell Arthur, he started the game in place of Kenneth Faried. And he had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 block, 19 minutes for him. We saw a healthy amount of Wilson Chandler for 24 minutes, but he only had 11.7 boards and 2 assists. Not a great game there. Gallinari underwhelming in his 27 minutes. He had 15 and 3 to go with 1 assist. Not a great game there. We just didn't see a lot besides Jokic on the Denver side. Emmanuel Mudiay, he did play 28 minutes, but he had 8 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, and 1 steal, and shot 3 for 11 from the field. That is a horrible 27%. Not good from Emmanuel Mudiay. The last game on the slate, and a game that I thought had a chance of going into OT, man. While I'm watching, I was like, if this game could go into overtime. And if it did, that'd have been sweet, because I knew we had a lot of hammers in the sweatshop. We're going to start on the LA Lakers side, where D'Angelo Russell got off to a slow start, but he did finish with a nice game. 34 minutes he played. He had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. And I think over the last 3 games, this dude is averaging 30 minutes. That's big, especially in a Luke Walton coach team, because usually everybody just gets 23 minutes down the board. But this dude is getting minutes, so I like that. I like to see that going forward. Julius Randle had 17 points and 9 boards to go with 5 assists, 1 steal. He only shot 4 for 13 from the field, so it could have been a lot better game from him. That was 30%. Brandon Ingram was a player that I really liked at that 3.1 price point. 37 minutes for him with the omission of Luol Deng. He had 11 points, 4 boards, and 1 assist and a block in his 37 minutes. We saw a bad game from Lou Williams. Sweet Lou was fumbling and bumbling and stumbling and knocking down 3 of 8 shots for 37% from the field. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. But Jordan Clarkson was actually really good off of the bench. He had 21 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals in his 31 minutes. On the Portland side of the ball, another guy that I was early to the party about, man. We talked about Evan Turner on the show the other night when I liked him, and he just didn't do shit. But tonight, man, he had a really good nice game. In 28 minutes, he scored 20 points, had a rebound, an assist, a steal, shot 7 for 11 from the field at 63%. Really nice game we saw from Evan Turner. Dame Lillard double-double in his return to the action. He played 35 minutes, had 21 points, 5 boards, and 10 assists. And we talked about him on last night's show. If we knew that, he could have played the last game out, but he didn't. The organization was like, no, Dame, give it one more game. And he did that because he wanted to play. He asked, could he play? But he didn't let him play. They sat him out, but he came out the night and had a really nice game for a guy coming off of an injury. Pretty nice game there. CJ McCollum got off to a slow start, but he did score 27 points and have 7 assists with 4 rebounds and a steal in his 35 minutes. Al-Farouq Aminu was 3 points away from a nice double-double, man. He has 7 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block in his 34 minutes. That was a nice game from Al-Farouq Aminu. Maurice Hawkins played 29 minutes and had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. We did fill it up. Good game there. And we also saw Mason Plumlee, the big homie, scored 31 points. This dude is like a peach flavor version of Draymond Green. Like, I love Plumlee's game. This dude dives for loose balls, does all the dirty work. I mean, every play he is setting the hardest pick, just like giving his body up. I love to watch Mason Plumlee play. He played 31 minutes and had 15 points to go with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. He was 6 of 7 from the field, so he should have shot the ball more. That's 85%. Really nice game there we saw from Mason Plumlee. And to round it out, Alan Crabb had 14 points to go with 4 rebounds in his 25 minutes. Now, that we recap last night's games, let's go ahead and jump into a quick player pricing review. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the player pool for today's 8-game slate. And we do this, so this is our first look. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I haven't seen this till just now. First time I'm looking at it. And we're going to, because usually our first reaction is a really good one, something we can gauge and, work the rest of the lineups with. So we're going to pull this up. And we're going to open up the NBA slate for tomorrow's 8 games. Of course, these games start at 7 o'clock prompt tomorrow. So make sure you are around Twitter or whatever, whatever engine you use to make sure that you get up-to-the-minute news when it comes to injuries and things of that nature. Now, okay. I got to tell you real quick about the new website, man. I am so excited about this, man. I try to hold it down, but it's happening. I'm so excited about this new website. The launch is going to be very soon. We're looking at within the week launching a new website, and in a short period after that, we're going to be adding optimization tools to the website. You'll be able to go on there, and we're probably going to start with just a list of the core plays that we really like in the sweatshop. Some's going to come from the VIP, some of the best minds in DFS. So we're going to develop a player pool from there, and we're going to give you that optimizing feature where if you want to, you can add guys if you want to, but we're going to have a player pool already set, because the point to all of this, the whole point to the DFS sweatshop, was me getting tired of hearing every name that dribbles the basketball when it comes time for me to roster, and I'm looking for information going to the larger sites, and everybody, they're throwing out every name to me, and I can't make sense of it, and I end up rostering guys all over the place. My lineups are not streamlined. Before you know it, my good lineups are canceling out my bad lineups. My bad plays are canceling out my good plays. This is a bunch of bullshit, and that's why we've developed a strategy where we are streamlining our lineups. This optimization tool is going to be one of the best in the game. I promise you. I promise you. And guess what? The price of subscriptions is not going up. We're going to stay better than everybody else. and it's all your fault. So let's go ahead and jump into the player price. I'm going to start with James Harden, the back-to-back, 12.2K. That's very pricey for James Harden. And I guess you can tell the trend already. I don't mind rostering James Harden. I really don't, because usually I can get a guy on his team that's gonna, benefit from him being such a facilitator on the floor. So I wouldn't rule out James Harden. Number one, the game is in Orlando, so it might stay just a touch closer than it would if it was at Houston. But I don't mind James Harden tomorrow. I'm not gonna have a lot of them, but I won't mind him. Next, we got DeMarcus Cousins at 10.9. That is a nice drop off from 12.2 to 10.9. However, I don't think I love DeMarcus Cousins tomorrow, especially if Chris Paul comes back. They say he is on track to play, Chris Paul, Friday. So I think there's other places we can go. We've got a rematch of the New York Knicks and Milwaukee Bucks. Now, we just saw this game the other week, so we have another chance to get this right. And this game is in Milwaukee. Now, I'm thinking that since Jabari Parker shit a brick in New York the last time these two teams played, I don't think people are going to be on him. But check Jabari's home road splits. I learned that after I rostered him and had him as part of the core four on the road. He is a monster at home. So I do like him. And when I do like Giannis tomorrow, 10.7K. The price is up on him just a touch, but I think we can definitely look to him. LeBron James at 10.5. This is going to be a blowout if the big three plays. The only way I would roster anybody from the Cleveland side is if somebody is out. If all three of them play, if all three of them play, the only guy that's in play to me is Kyrie, the cheapest guy, because I think Kevin Love is going to be he's a little expensive. So I just don't think we're going to see 4 quarters of these guys tomorrow against the Brooklyn Nets. So that's just coming off a back-to-back. I just don't think so. Maybe that's why we didn't see Brook Lopez get a ton of minutes, because they knew they were going to have to play Cleveland in a back-to-back. I don't know. I think I can go other places than LeBron. If I'm going to get LeBron in a matchup that may not be competitive, I might as well just pay up the extra 200 to get Giannis in the game. But I know this game damn near went into overtime the last time they played. So I would rather pay up for Giannis or even pay down to John Wall. LeBron James is in a very weird space where he's 400 less than John Wall, but he's 200. He's 400 more than John Wall, but he's 200 less than Giannis. So I don't think I'm going to be having too much LeBron James tomorrow. John Wall, we just talked about him at 10.1K. I like that. Karl Anthony Towns at 9.6. You know what? If I'm looking at this game, I would rather take Martin Gortat than Karl Anthony Towns, because the dude has to get damn near 60 DraftKings points in order to meet that value that we want. So I don't think I'll be having too much Karl Anthony Towns. Kevin Durant is a no for me at 9.4K going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. This game probably will blow out. Chris Paul, if he plays, is in play for me. I like him tomorrow if he does play. Steph Curry at 8.5 is a no for me. Isaiah Thomas against the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes, I'll have 2 of those, please. 8.3K. Kevin Love, 8.1. Questionable there. The tag is on him. Hassan Whiteside, he may be out because we know they're on this road swing and he didn't travel with the team. So Hassan Whiteside probably going to be out. We're probably going to see some Willie Reed. I'm down for that. Carmelo Anthony at 7.9. He is in play. We already know what's going to happen, or what happened when they didn't have Kristaps in the game. I think Kristaps is back, so that's going to lessen my enthusiasm about Carmelo Anthony, but I still think he's in play at 7.9K. Kyrie Irving is the only Cleveland guy that I really feel comfortable rostering at 7.8. Now here's an enigma, wrapped in a mystery, surrounded by a riddle, up under a disguise. What the fuck do we do with Joel Embiid tomorrow? If he's playing, it's law that we attack Boston rebounding. He's on a 28-minute restriction. We saw him get just under 29 minutes last time out. What do we do about Joel Embiid? I can tell you what I'm going to do. When 2 laws collide, one law for me is I don't roster Joel Embiid unless I have to on the short slate. 8 full slate, I'm not rostering. I'm not playing a guy. I'm not paying 7.7K for no motherfucker who got restricted minutes. That's just That's foolish to me. Because when the game gets close and he's at 28 minutes and we need Joel Embiid to score some more points, he's sitting on the fucking bench. That is bullshit. I don't like that. But we've got to attack Boston rebounding. Now, is there another space on the Philadelphia side where we can do that? Stay tuned. But if you want to roster Joel Embiid, I have no problem with that because it is very enticing to attack Boston rebounding, even if this game does blow out. Blake Griffin is out, of course. Draymond Green is probably the only guy on Golden State that I feel comfortable rostering at 7.5K. Marcus Gasol is a no for me at 7.4. Goran Dragic, yes, at 7.4. Jabari Parker, yes, at 7.3. The ownership is going to be low from him because he shit the bed last time out. Julius Randle against the Miami Heat, I like that at 7.2. DeAndre Jordan. If Chris Paul plays, yes. If not, no. Even though he had a good game out last time without Chris Paul, uh, I'm not doing it. Chris Stapps is questionable. If he does play, I don't like him. Al Horford at 6.9 is most certainly in play for me. Brad Beal at 6.9 is a no for me. Andrew Wiggins is in play at 6.8. Zach LaVine is in play at 6.7. I like Mike Conley tomorrow at 6.6, but I don't like not Brook Lopez. I don't like Marc Gasol, but I do like Mike Conley tomorrow. Brook Lopez at 6.5 is a no for me. Klay Thompson, yes, at 6.4. Serge Ibaka is a no for me at 6.4. Vucevic, yes, at 6.3. I like him going up against that Houston second team. Martin Gortat is a yes for me at 6.2. D'Angelo Russell, no for me. Avery Bradley, I like him. Even though the DVP says they rank 6th against shooting guards, I like him tomorrow because we might not see Robert Covington, which takes away from the Philadelphia perimeter defense. And if the game blows out, people like Avery Bradley and Isaiah Thomas are definitely going to have something to do with that. Ersan Ilyasova, that's how we attack Boston rebounds tomorrow. I don't have to play Embiid. I can play Ersan Ilyasova at 6K. I like that. Derrick Rose at 6K flat is going to be in play for me against the Milwaukee Bucks. Otto Porter is a no. Elfrid Payton, yes. Going up against, well, no, he's not. If he starts again, no. If he starts again, no. But if he's coming off the bench, I like him. Rudy Gay at 6K. If he does play tomorrow, I do like him at 6K, even though this is the 7th ranked team against the power forward position. Trevor Ariza in a bounce back game at 5.9 is a yes for me. Greg Monroe, yes, we've got to roster Greg Monroe again. I mean, 5.8. If I throw out a core 4 tomorrow, just look at it as a core 5 because I'm gonna roster Greg Monroe tomorrow. I'm gonna have him in there. Googie Jang is somebody I like at 5.8. We can definitely turn to Evan Fournier at 5.8, but this game does have the blowout factor in it. I presume. I haven't seen the point totals yet, but I presume it does have the blowout factor to it. So we want to be careful with this game. Eric Gordon's in play at 5.8. Tyler Johnson, yes, at 5.8. Malcolm Brogdon, yes, at 5.7. If we don't see Matthew Dellavedova. Trevor Booker at 5.7. No for me. James Johnson is in play against the Lakers at 5.7. Ryan Anderson is a no for me. Josh Richardson, yes, he is in play against the Lakers at 5.6. TJ McConnell. Now, we know we should be getting Sergio Rodriguez back tomorrow, so we can go ahead and stop all the TJ McConnell shit. But Gerald Henderson should be back too, so I think we're done. He's served his purpose. He's done what he's supposed to do. We're done with TJ McConnell. Joakim Noah is in play at 5.5. Zebo, yes, at 5.5. Ricky Rubio, no, at 5.5. I don't like him tomorrow. Montrezl Harrell is a no for me. Pat Bev, 5.5, no for me. Robert Covington, he is questionable, so we might see some Dario Saric. We're going to talk about that later. Sean Kilpatrick is a no for me. I like Austin Rivers tomorrow if we don't see Chris Paul. Jay Crowder, yes, big yes for me at 5.2. JJ Redick is in play at 5.2. Jeremy Lin is probably not playing tomorrow. JaMychal Green may play, and if he does, I don't like him. Markieff Morris is a yes for me at 4.9. The price is low. I like him. His brother just had a good game. I like Markieff Morris. Aaron Gordon, man, he's kind of turned the corner. He's been playing particularly well lately, so I do like him tomorrow at 4.9. Clint Capella is a no. Jamal Crawford is a yes for me. Lou Williams, no at 4.8. I like Tony Allen somewhat at 4.7. Raymond Felton, again, part of that four-headed monster in LA with the Clippers. If we don't see Chris Paul, we're talking Raymond Felton, we're talking the coach's son, we're talking Jamal Crawford, as well as JJ Redick. Jordan McRae at 4.6. I mean, no. Nick Young, 4.6. No. Dario Saric, yes, I like him at 4.5 to attack Boston rebounding. I like him, especially if we don't see Robert Covington. He probably will get the start. Tristan Thompson at 4.5 is in play for me. We can always attack Brooklyn. Shout out to Jim Nail, the big homie in the Facebook VIP, somebody who really brought this out to light recently. We can attack Brooklyn when it comes to the center position. I think Tristan Thompson at 4.5 is a really nice play. Darren Collison is a no for me at 4.5. Sergio Rodriguez, no for me. Marcus Smart, yes, I like him at 4.5. This game could blow out. We're going to see a lot of the Boston second team, so I do like Marcus Smart tomorrow. Chilo Okafor at 4.4 is a no for me. Matt Barnes, no. Jordan Clarkson, no. Channing Frye, yes, at 4.3 in a blowout. I like him. Andrew Harrison, no. Bojan, no. Luol Deng is a no. He's probably going to be out tomorrow as well. Willie Reed, yes, we can roster him at 4.2 because we know Whiteside didn't travel with the team on a road trip, so he's probably not going to play. So we like Willie Reed tomorrow. Dion Waiters, I can take a flyer on him at 4.1. I think he's going to play tomorrow and see some solid minutes. Ty Lawson is a no for me against the Clippers. Mo Buckets is a no. Justice Winslow is out indefinitely. Nerlens Noel is somebody to take a chance on at 3.9. That's under 4K. We can definitely rock with that. I like Brandon Jennings at 3.9. No for Courtney Lee. Sauce is a no. Amir Johnson, yes, at 3.8. I like that cheap price there. James Ennis is a no for me. Garrett Temple, no. Rashawn Holmes, no. Justin Holiday, no. Delhi, if he doesn't play, we already talked about that. We like Malcolm Brogdon. Kay Felder is a no for me at 3.7. I don't like him tomorrow. Hollis Jefferson is probably not going to play. Jody Meeks is a no for me at 3.7. Anthony Tolliver is a no for me. Kylo Quinn is in play at 3.6. If he's fully healthy and ready to go, he is in play at 3.6. Sean Livingston is a no for me, although he may provide some help when it comes to the scrub love at the end of that game. I think the game does blow out some. Andre Iguodala is a no. Isaiah Whitehead, no. Richard Jefferson is a no. Justin Hamilton, yes for me at 3.5. This game should blow out. We're going to see some Justin Hamilton down there. Kelly Oubre, no. Nene, no. Costa Kufas, no. Larry Nance is out. Of course, Kelly Olynyk, yes, I like Kelly Olynyk as a cheap center punt value play there. John Henson, if he does get the start at 3.4K, we've got to give John Henson a look. We just have to. Vince Carter, no. Chandler Parsons is a no for me. Jaja is a no. Sam Decker, yes. 3.4, that's one of my favorite value plays for tomorrow's slate. Sam Decker, I really like him tomorrow. I think this game could blow out. That way we'll see a lot of the Houston second team. Tony Snell is in play at 3.3. That price is very low for me. Shabazz Muhammad, yes, at 3.3 is a value play. We can look at him. There's a ton of great shit on this slate tomorrow, man. I really like tomorrow's slate. It's 8 games. It's right in my wheelhouse. I think I can definitely put together a core of players that I really like from this player pool that we're taking a hold to right now. So let's go ahead and jump into the point totals real quick. And of course, we do this because once we've developed the player pool in our heads, we like to go and look at the point total and see what Vegas is saying about how many points is going to be involved in each game and what the point total differentials are going to be. We like to check all those things out. And this is all stuff that's going to be on the new site. The new website is going to be a place where you can go get real shit, like honest shit. You can get honest shit because a lot of it is going to come from you. You go there, you get honest shit, and you're not going to have to leave. You can go to the website, browse around, click around, build some lineups, fuck around with it, kick some shit around. You know what I'm saying? Chat, mix it up with guys, and leave once you've got your lineups ready to go. So this is going to be a really great thing, man. I'm very excited about this. Shout out to the homie Jack, man, because he and I have been really chopping it up, and he's definitely been coming up with some great ideas, and we're going to start implementing those things as much as we can. So let's go ahead and jump into the point totals for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and do that. Practice that a little bit there. We're going to start with the first game on tomorrow's slate. This is the 7 o'clock tip-off. Now, this is probably going to be the highest point total on the slate. So we can get in there quick and just sit back. You know, we roster the right guys from this game and some late night hammers, and we might be good to go. So let's go ahead and jump into it. This is the Orlando Magic at the crib in a 223 point total against the Houston Rockets. Now, this is only a 5.5 spread, man. This is not a huge point differential. So that's kind of leading me to believe that we may see like a full allotment of minutes from James Harden. And if we see that, man, he's definitely on the table. Or even not even just enough to where he's still playing, late into the third, early into the fourth before he sits down, and then Decker and Gordon and those guys come and mop everything up. So I do like the Houston side of the ball in this game. I do like James Harden. I have no problem if you want to pay up in order to roster him, especially on the 8-game slate. We know some value is going to be opening up. I can see there are a few games even just right now. There's like 4 games without point total, so we know there's going to be value opening up tomorrow where we didn't have that tonight, and it made it a lot easier to cash, a lot more predictable. Well, tomorrow we're probably going to have to take a few more chances because I foresee value opening up. Whenever Cleveland's on the board, we have that. Even if they ended up starting everybody, the threat of them sitting somebody all day long, like what's LeBron going to do? What's LeBron going to do? That fucks up people's lineups. Like that throws us for a loop. Just that, right? So on the Orlando side, uh, I like Vucevic playing against the Houston second team. Elfrid Payton, if he's not starting, if he's coming off of the bench, he definitely deserves a look. Uh, Serge Ibaka can be a decent play in this game as well. We know we can attack Houston rebounding the ball, but there's not too much to like. If I'm going to invest myself in this game, it would be more so towards the Houston side. The next game I'm going to talk about is the Minnesota Timberwolves going to D.C., playing in the nation capital, taking on the Washington Wizards. This is a 212-point total, with the Wizards giving up 5 points. They are a home favorite against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I like a lot about this game. This game is going to be high paced. If I had to bet, I would bet the over in this game because I like a lot about this game, and I don't think that either of these teams are like defensively sound enough to stop the other one from scoring. So I think the score is going to be pretty high in this game. One thing to look at is Chris Dunn, because he's been getting a lot of minutes late in the game, like down the stretch. So Chris Dunn is somebody to look at. He just is. I kind of like him tomorrow as a very cheap punt play if I'm paying up in other spots. So on the Minnesota side, Ricky Rubio, while people are going to tell you he's in play, I'm not playing him. I don't like Ricky Rubio tomorrow. The hardest part about the Minnesota Timberwolves is you want to get a piece of their wing. You want to, because the wing always balls. Somebody on the Minnesota wing always balls. Now who's it going to be? It's going to be Zach LaVine. It's going to be Andrew Wiggins. Is Namia Bialita and Shabazz Muhammad gonna come in and steal minutes and combine for what Levine or Wiggins should have done? Like you never know. So if I had to go anywhere in this game, as Otto Porter being such a good defender and Bradley Beal not being as good a defender, I would go Zach LaVine. I just like Zach LaVine. He gets a ton of minutes, and I think he's going to be a really good play tomorrow against the Washington Wizards. Of course, John Wall is one of my favorite players all the time. I like John Wall tomorrow. This is going to be, I think, a pretty high-scoring, up-tempo game. I think Martin Gortat deserves consideration, too. Look at his last few logs and minutes, man. This dude is getting all the minutes. Like, he's playing so much. We talked about this a couple shows ago. Ime Himi is out. It's just so many different front court issues we're having with the Minnesota Timberwolves. With the Washington Wizards, that I think that rostering him at 6.2K, I'm talking about Gortat, is a very easy way to jump into that 6X at the center position. So I definitely think that he is a good play tomorrow. Now, the next game we're going to talk about is the Boston Celtics at home against the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a 213-point total, with the Boston Celtics giving up 12 points at home to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the first thing I want to say is, as much as I talk shit about Joel Embiid, I've got to keep it real. This dude is a superior talent. A superior talent. And, he protects the rim in such a way where you kind of can't always trust the point totals when it comes to, he makes this team a totally different squad. He just does. With him on the floor, they're a different team. They're tougher. They move at a slightly slower pace until he blocks the shot and they get out in transition. I like the Philadelphia 76ers with Embiid on the floor. However, he's only going to be on the floor for 28 minutes. So we've got to take that with a grain of salt. Now, what does this mean for the Boston Bigs? It means they're not going to be rebounding very well. That means if you're looking for Horford to get a double-double tomorrow, I don't see it happening. It means you're going to see Jay Crowder fumbling and chilling around the three-point line, ready to shoot threes, which can be a good thing. And it means that, you know, you may not see Isaiah Thomas attack the basket for 28 minutes. But for the rest of the time, you're going to see him do it. So I still like Isaiah Thomas. We've already set that in stone as law. Isaiah is matchup proof. He is the hottest player in the league right now, and we can definitely roster him with confidence in any situation. So I do like him tomorrow. I also like Avery Bradley. He's been playing not so great lately, and a lot of people are not going to be on him, but I do like him in this matchup as well. We talked about Jay Crowder already. He can be a decent play. As far as the Boston bench goes, I like Kelly Olynyk. He always gets solid minutes off of the bench. And at his price point, I think he's about 3.4K. He's a solid punt. A solid punt if you're paying up for Harden or you're paying up for Wall. I think you can definitely look to Kelly Olynyk on the Philadelphia 76ers side. There's two players who I'm really interested in. It's Dario Saric as well as Ersan Ilyasova. I'm not as interested in Embiid, but I do like those other two forwards on this team, especially if we don't see Robert Covington tomorrow. The next game I'm going to talk about is the Cleveland Browns. I say Cleveland Browns. God damn. Take another sip. Football is over. Almost. My Giants play Green Bay Sunday. So uh, it's over for the Cleveland Browns. It's been over for them. But next game is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers going to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. You know, I don't like too much of this game. If I'm going to roster somebody from the Nets, it's going to be a bench guy. It's going to be, Karis LeVert and Scrub Love. Justin Hamilton and Scrub Love. Jason Smith and Scrub Love. Like, I'm not taking a shot at the Brooklyn, starters. And if I'm rostering anybody on the Cleveland side, it's Kyrie. If all of them are playing, I like Kyrie. If two of them are playing, I like the cheaper one of whatever two is playing. If it's LeBron and Love, Kyrie's out, I like Love. If it's Love and Kyrie with LeBron out, I like Kyrie. If you know what I'm saying, that's just how I'm gonna play that. I'm not gonna get too cute and try to stack Cleveland on an 8-game slate in a blowout game against the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not doing all that. That's too much. The price is too high, and you're not gonna see 4 quarters of these guys. You're just not. So that would be my take on this game. The next game is the New York Knicks going to Milwaukee. However, the one player I do like for the Cleveland side, as we are attacking Boston at the center position, I like Tristan Thompson. Let's not forget about that. No matter who's playing, I like Tristan Thompson from the Cleveland side. He's probably the only guy that I will just straight up right now roster with no strings attached. The next game I'm going to talk about, New York Knicks going to Milwaukee. These guys just played each other the other night, so we do have something that we can easily reference to if you saw that game. The Knicks are going to want to play well. I just think they are. After losing a heartbreaker at home with Giannis fading back and knocking down a game winner, then winning by 1 point, I think the Knicks are going to get up for this game. If we do see Kristaps, he's not somebody who I'm going to be rostering, but I think he can have a decent game against the Milwaukee front court. Also, I like Melo a lot in this matchup. I think he can have a really decent game. But Giannis is the man. No, I like Giannis. I love Giannis in this game. If Malcolm Brogdon gets to start, we don't see Delly. I like him. And, of course, I think Jabari Parker is going to be a nice contrarian play coming off of that shitty game he had. A lot of people are not going to want to roster him, but I think we can definitely look to him tomorrow. Next game is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies going to Golden State to take on the Dubs. Now this is a 214.5 point total, with the Dubs giving up 13.5 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I don't know how I feel about this game because if this game is at the Grindhouse, maybe I could invest myself in this game. But the fact that the game is in Golden State at the Oracle kind of leads me to believe that this shit is going to blow out. It leads me to believe this shit is going to blow out. Now, the question is Mike Conley the kind of player that in a blowout can go out and get his and then sit down? Fuck it. They blew us out. It's 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I'm just sitting down. Is Mike Conley that type of player? Well, I know Steph Curry gives up that kind of defense. So for that reason, I think I kind of like Mike Conley tomorrow. We know that they have a penchant, Golden State, for going small and taking the opposing team's center off of the floor. And then you look behind Marc Gasol, and who you've got? You've got a collection of stiffs that can't really move. So I don't see that really happening. I think we might be able to look to um, Marc Gasol, especially if we don't see Jermichael Green again. Maybe we can look to Marc Gasol. I mean, because who you got behind that? You got Jarrell Martin. You've got you got Zebo, who is another big guy who can't really move like that. So maybe Marc Gasol is a safe play. Plus, the dude's been playing out of his mind lately anyway. So that's something to look at. And then you counter in, you add the fact that the Golden State Warriors play down a lot to the level of the competition, and we may have a game here. We may 13.5 point total. Do with it what you may. On the Golden State side, the only two guys that I really roster with confidence are going to be Draymond and Klay Thompson. I don't like Durant in this game. I don't like Curry in this game. I don't think we're going to need to see a full onslaught of, Curry the whole game. He's the first guy to just sit down. So I don't think I'll be going Curry, and I don't think I'll be going Durant either. The next game I'm going to talk about, there is no point total for this game yet because we're dealing with a few injuries on the Miami side. We know that Josh Johnson, of course, is dealing with an injury, as well as we know that Justice Winslow is going to be out for quite some time. Larry Nance on the Lakers side is going to be out for a little while. Luol Deng is questionable. So there's a ton of shit that we can look at in this game. Now, if Goran Dragic plays, yes, I like him. Willie Reed, yes, you can fire him up in this game. On the Lakers side, not too much I do like. I think Randall is definitely in play. Russell is not in play for me in this game. There's not a lot I like about the Lakers' chances in this game, actually. So, but the game is in LA, so the game could be close. Like I said, we don't have a point total for it yet, so we need to check back. Stay on the social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is that we use to keep up with the injuries and the point totals. We need to do that when it comes to the Miami and the Lakers game at Staples Arena. Last game on the slate is going to be the LA Clippers at the Sacramento Kings. There are two major injuries when it comes to both sides of this game that we've got to pay attention to. Number one is going to be Chris Paul. He is still questionable. He says he's on track to play tomorrow, but we know that may change. We've got to keep our eyes out for that. And on the Sacramento Kings side, we don't know what's up with Rudy Gay. So this is a game. There's 3 games starting at 10:30. So if you want a late night hammer, man, these are 3 of the most uncertain games on the slate. So I don't see a lot of people rostering a lot of cats from these games. I don't see a ton of salary being spent on these 3 late games. So I wouldn't suggest that you break your neck to get a late night hammer. If you want to roster Boogie against the Clippers at home, I don't have a problem with that at all. I'd probably do some of that too. But I mean, you'd be digging through the dumpster. And what I feel like to get solid plays from the Miami and LA game, as well from the Memphis and the Golden State game. So if you're gonna roster people, I would imagine it's gonna be from the Sacramento and the LA Clipper game, especially once you find out what's going on with Chris Paul, if he's gonna be playing or not. Then you know the coach's son is in play. You know Jamal Crawford is in play. You know Raymond Felton is in play. You know that JJ Redick is in play. So a lot of news is going to hinge on what happens to Chris Paul. But the funny part about this is a game that is a late game, so the news does not have to come out before lock. So keep that in mind as you're going through your roster construction, because you may want to just make a lineup with Chris Paul and say fuck it, one, but there's a good chance that he doesn't play, or it's even better chance that you find out he's playing after the lineups have locked, or you find out that he's not playing after the lineups have locked. So be wary of that and be very vigilant in your tracking of the injury status of the players in this game. So if Chris Paul does play and we found that out earlier, it makes me automatically like DeAndre Jordan. I think Boogie is Boogie. He had a really bad game out last time, scored about 30 DraftKings points, was a snowflake. So that is going to hinder people from rostering. Plus, you factor in it's in the late game with a lot of uncertainty. So I think Boogie is going to go less than, I'm going to say less than 17% on. The over-under on Boogie ownership, put that in the comments. What's the over-under on Boogie ownership tomorrow? Let's talk about it. Now, this has been your DFS Jerusalem. On Twitter, you can follow me at DFS Jerusalem. Like I said, man, a new website is going to be launching very soon. You got a lot of great stuff that's going to be added to it in the coming weeks, days, and hopefully not months. We're going to make a really big push to like kick down the DFS doors during the All-Star break, man. We're really going to make a huge push to do that. So go ahead and get in now while the getting is good. The prices will not change. The prices will not change. But we are bettering the content, bettering the website for you, and investing everything that we do back into the DFS Sweatshop. It's going to be a lovely, beautiful thing. Thank you so much for all of your involvement, because without you, none of this would be possible, and I mean that sincerely from the bottom of the heart, man. When you see my little babies in here, and you see the baby give me a kiss, and you look at her, and she looks fed. She doesn't look like she's malnourished. You know, see the wife got fat ass. She eating. You know what I'm saying? That's because of you. You see the pampers on the baby. I'm holding the baby. She got a pamper on. It's because of you. So thank you so much for everything that you do. If you would like to support the show more than you already are, and don't get me wrong, this is the purest way to support the show by giving me your voice. You can definitely look me up. The box right there says support the show. Go ahead and click that. Let it take you ready to go. You can also follow the link in the description to the Sweatshop swag. That's where you can go and get your 300 Club and your DFS Sweatshop logo, everything. If you are a regular member of the 300 Club, or you want to be, go ahead and copy the shirt, man. Copy the shirt. We're going to take pictures one day with, like, you know, all of us, 300 Club, 300 shirts. We're going to do all that. Also, you can hit my personal PayPal at simmonsmaurice95@yahoo.com. But if you want to become a full-fledged member of the DFS Sweatshop family, you can go to the website at www.dfssweatshop.com. That's where you will see everything we offer, and you get in now, you will be a part of everything that we will offer in the very near future. This has been your DFS Jerusalem, signing off again. Thank you so much for your support, and remember, always keep it 300.